Jonathan, thanks so much for your time today. We're here at the Milestone Hotel in London, one of the great Red Carnation hotels in the city. Tell us about the great collection you have.
Hello James, well, it's great to be here and great to welcome you here to the Milestone Hotel, which here in Kensington, overlooking Kensington Palace. We're actually in one of the residences here. We have 6 of these at the hotel. They're 2-bedroom residences with great lounge and a kitchen attached to the hotel. All the services of the hotel, from housekeeping to the room service. You get all the bits and pieces you expect from the top 5-star hotel, but with a bit more space. We've 5 other hotels in London. We have the 5-star Rubens Hotel and Buckingham Palace Road overlooking the palace. Adjacent to that, Hotel 41, which has been top of TripAdvisor in London, 1,500 hotels, #1 now for the last 10 years consistently. Egerton House, which is our property next to Harrods, it's been #2 for the last 10 years too. And then we have the Montague Hotel, which is next to Britain's or London's favourite tourist attraction, that being the British Museum.
So you've got hotels in such great locations in London, so for leisure and business, it's actually quite perfect.
No, it really is. And then of course we've got the Chesterfield Hotel in Mayfair, which is so well known, so many loyal guests, and actually it's one of the very first Red Carnation hotels we had. So you're right, we're covered for leisure, we're covered for business. And I think today actually it's quite often difficult to know who's leisure and who's on business. So you perhaps got a new word, bleisure, because everybody seems to need to work when they're having leisure and perhaps vice versa. So, but yeah, they work very well for both.
So how do you have hotels rated so highly on platforms like TripAdvisor?
Well, the cornerstone of what we do is about our people. And we recognised many years ago that we thought best put our dollars, our pounds, our rands investments into guests talking about ourselves. So we have perhaps a few more staff than other hotels as a quota. And what we do is we are absolutely passionate about training. We have a very strong training department. We do very well at recruiting people that have that desire to understand, to care, and want to get on within our business. And we give them an opportunity to rise up through our ranks. Our general manager at the Chesterfield Hotel some 20 years ago at the Rubens Hotel was working in the linen room. And a great guy, again, all the traits that you need to be a hotelier, working hard. He had the training, he had the development, and today, for the last 2 years, is a very fine general manager of this property. So I think that's a great example of this business, that actually if you work hard and you care, as I say, you can get to the very top.
Yeah, you're a very British hotel brand. You've got very iconic hotels that are very classically elegant British, from the high teas to the restaurants and the rooms. It's obviously a hallmark of the brand.
Yeah, I think we go along the lines that if you're staying in a particular city, we like to think you know where you are. So we look at the antiques that we put into the rooms, the artwork that we put into the rooms. We try to single out and differentiate whereabouts that you are, to just create that kind of that fun, that theatre as to where you are. And then obviously around that, supporting it with people, as we've discussed.
And people do come here for a British experience, I think, and where you're located, obviously. And as well, it's a bit of a challenging town, isn't it? You've got a lot of hotels in London, a lot of new hotels have come on, so obviously that service is a real key to it.
It is. I think, James, I don't wake up any day and not learn there's a new hotel being built, both luxury and budget. And of course, the Airbnb has really exploded here too. So there's massive competition. And I say that really within the business, that if you're looking to stay in a luxury 5-star property, for which we have, the expectations are that the pillows, the duvets, the toweling is fantastic. Our toweling's no better than anyone else's. It's certainly, they're all fantastic. So the differentiator really is probably location. Can't do much about that. And of course then the people.
Yeah, and would you look at expanding the company here in London as well?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking for opportunities. I think it's fair to say over the last few years that buying a property has become challenging now, because very rich people from all over the world kind of buy them as a toy these days. And the actual things I learned at university when I was studying hotel keeping, where you had the various quotas and the economics to build what the price should be, have been blown out. So I think, we always look to buy a property which is in need of some investments, is in need of increased service, but clearly the numbers have to work. And we, at the moment, cities such as London, it is difficult, again, because people are just, in our opinions, paying too much for it.
And Jonathan, what are some of your favourite things about the hotels here in London? F&B is great, the rooms are great. What are your favourite things?
Well, I'm often asked the favourite things, and I think there's much that I like, but I think it has come down to the people again. When people say to me, what's great, what's your favourite hotel? It's the people, it's the concierge, it's the barman, it's the front desk, it's the people behind the scenes doing a fab job. I think that's what really gets me out of bed, gets me excited, is seeing the people who are energised to work hard. And all of them offer different experiences. It's probably the Milestone, for example, gives you experiences to go behind the scenes at the Royal Albert Hall. Our property at the Montague to meet the curators of the British Museum. Again, at the Rubens, we can get you into not Buckingham Palace itself, but into the Mews. So there's different things that we can do. So I haven't got a favourite, and I know it's probably a bit of a cheesy answer, but I genuinely love them all.